Hi, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the end of 2020. I'm so proud of us. I'm so happy for us. I know we still have a lot of struggles ahead, but I think we are all very happy to put this year in the past. So today I just wanted to share my favorites, the things that I won't be leaving in the past that I'm very excited to take into 2021 and the rest of my life, because I found some favorites that I just truly, deeply adore. So I want to share those with you, and we have beauty, lifestyle, home, skincare, a little bit of makeup, stuff like that. First thing that I'm holding is a dog toy, but this was my dog's favorite. He got this for Christmas and I just thought it was so cute seeing him play like a puppy. This is by the brand Zippy Paws, and it's these little squirrels that squeak and they live in this log, and he has to get them out of the log. And he's not very toy motivated, so I didn't think he would love this as much as he does, but he goes nuts getting the squirrels out of here, and then he comes over and he begs with his little cute brown eyes for me to put the squirrels back in so he can do it again. So I just wanted to mention that if you have a pet that's hard to find toys for. Another thing that I loved in 2020, I think it's like the mascot of 2020, was baking bread. So my favorite type of bread that I discovered this year was kamut bread. Kamut, I never know how to pronounce that. But it's a special kind of flour that is so delicious. This recipe is also fantastic, or this cookbook is also fantastic, and it has the recipe that I like in it. It's by the Food Nanny. So I will link that, and also some other bread recipes that I really loved this year. My favorite banana bread recipe was by Joanna Gaines. So I think we all came to discover and appreciate the importance of yeast and flour this year. Another thing that I loved was playing Yahtzee. You guys might have seen this. I made a custom Yahtzee set for Nate for his birthday. Isn't this so pretty? It has our name on it. So I can't link to this because I made it, but if you wanted to make your own Yahtzee set, you basically just need dice and scorecards. I have this like little tray that we roll the dice on. It's just really fun, but also store-bought Yahtzee is great. It comes in a lot of different varieties as well. And I appreciate any game you can play with just 2 players or more. Can you play Yahtzee with more than 2 players, come to think of it? Is it just a 2-person game? I don't know, but we're always looking for good games that we can play, just the 2 of us, since we've been at home, just the 2 of us all year. So speaking of being at home, another thing I've loved is movies, specifically old movies. I've always loved old Hollywood. We had an old Hollywood themed wedding 9.5 years ago. But I've always loved old Hollywood, but this year I've watched more vintage movies than ever, and I just absolutely loved it. Also, shout out to these fabulous DVD sleeves. My friend decluttered her DVDs and passed some on to me and introduced me to these space savers. Isn't that great? But yeah, I loved watching old movies this year. Another thing that I really loved was having digital movie parties with friends this year. We used the Teleparty or the Netflix Party app to watch movies together, like in the Milk and Honey Club, and that was so fun because it was like the only way I could get a girls' night, movie night. Or my friend Annette and I would just start a movie at the same time and then text each other the whole way through it. So just movie nights, just movies, just any kind of virtual togetherness, that was really high on my list for 2020. Okay, let's get into some beauty stuff. That is the majority of the things here. I'm trying to mostly just share things that I can link to that you can get for yourselves and have in your own lives. But one more thing that I will say that's a little tricky along those lines is I love vintage vanity pieces. This is a mirror. And so you guys know I have a little vintage, or a little vanity corner in my bedroom. It's just an IKEA desk. But I love sitting down at my vanity, and especially this year, it kind of became like a little beacon of mental health for me that I could like start and end my day, like bookend my day at my vanity. And it was like one little piece of constant in my life. So I love having a vanity. I really recommend that you set one up for yourself. Do your skincare there, do your makeup there. If you're interested in those things, it's just so soothing. But also I was able to add a lot of really treasured touches to mine this year. I got this vintage vanity set. You can find treasures like this on eBay or Etsy or thrift stores or garage sales or wherever, but I just had to shout that out. Okay, on to beauty. Let's see. Another thing that was very essential to my mental health this year, looks like I'm about to say wine, That's probably true for a lot of us, but no, this is bubble bath. And this has become my favorite brand of bubble bath, the Lalia brand. And I just want to say this makes a gorgeous gift. Like, as you see, it looks like a fine bottle of wine. It's so pretty. You could gift it in like a wine gift bag. It opens up like wine, like you have to use a corkscrew to open it. Just gorgeous, like excellent gift idea. It smells amazing. It makes the most luxurious fluffy bubbles. I love a bubble bath. So that's up there for creating the bubbles, and then also for creating ambiance in the bath. I love a bath bomb, and my favorite brand for these has always been the Lush brand. Forget what this one is called. I'll try to link to it. It smells really good. It turns the water fun, sparkly colors. It fizzes and it pops, and it adds nutrients to the water, and it makes it a more exciting experience. So I love those for bath time. I also always set the mood when I take a bath with candles. So let's quickly share our candle favorites. This has been my candle favorite of life forever. Jo Malone brand, Sweet Almond and Macaroon. I love this candle so much. I wish they made a perfume in this scent. It smells so good if you love almond or sweet scents. You guys know I ration this candle out. It is one of my greatest joys. But on a more affordable note, I also fell in love with the Homeworks line of candles this year. You can get them at Ulta or on QVC, but the packaging is so pretty. The label came off of this one, but I think you can see it's just so gorgeous. I love the wide base, and I like to clean these candles out. This one's so good. This is the banana maple pancakes. I'm rationing this too. I only light it when I actually make pancakes, so, which is a lot. I mean, we're making our way through this candle, but yeah, I think these are really elegant, lovely, delicious candles, and for the price, they're great. And they look nice, and you can clean out the jar afterwards. I have a whole video on candle tips like that. The last candle I want to mention I got for Christmas, this is also Jo Malone in the well, this one's called Pastel Macaroons. It smells just like the other almond and macaroon one. I just love it. And then look how gorgeous this jar is. So pretty. So Jo Malone has always been one of my favorite brands for makeup, or no, for perfume and for candles. Okay, then let's talk about cleaning your face. I really fell in love with just the simplest skincare routine ever. If you saw, I did a video kind of coming back to my grandma's skincare routine. So I used a lot of cold cream this year. This is just the Pond's brand cold cream. And it's so soothing and hydrating, especially in the winter. It's like the simplest, tried and true, oldest cleansing method that there is. But I love just using what has been working for decades. So that is cold cream, and I even used bar soap this year. I think there's an old video of me saying like death first. I would never use a bar soap on my face, and that just cracks me up now because I did use bar soap this year. I like the Dove Beauty Bar. It has more hydration in it than your average bar of soap. And I also really like the one by the brand I'm about to talk about next. But honestly, just like soap and water beauty, just old school, really cleaning your skin and having that kind of like come to yourself moment at the sink where you like lather up. I don't know, that restored a little bit of sanity for me this year, just to wash my face at the end of the day, wash off the stresses. And it's kind of like the most simple building block of skincare, which I love. I also just wanted to shout out this skincare brand. This is another one that I fell in love with this year, Erno Laszlo, famous vintage beauty brand. And this was the skincare routine that Marilyn Monroe used. Just really classic and special. This is the Memory Sleep Mask. I shared it in a favorites earlier this year. Do you see that glassy pink perfection? Look at that. It's so nice. And I got this as part of like a really special gift this year, and so I get sentimental about gifts, and so I've been like rationing this as if my life depended on it, and it's been going really far. But I've tried a lot of different things from this brand and I love it. It is pricey, so that is a little piece of indulgence. Okay, on a makeup note, this has been the year of liquid eyeliner for me. I always was scared of liquid eyeliner and struggled with it, but this year I kind of made a commitment to myself to play with eyeliner pretty much every single day, and it's been fun for me. So I'll share the two favorites. I tried a lot of different eyeliners this year. This brand I really like. It's called Dollface. I think you can get it at some drugstores, but I love their liquid eyeliner. You see it's like a long felt tip. And the thing that I really love about it is it's not flexible. It's not like, you know, like a calligraphy pen where you put pressure and it bends. That's how most felt tip eyeliners seem to work. This one isn't flexible, so I use it almost like a stamp. And I just lay it as close as possible to my eyelashes and I like stamp the straight line across. Because my experience is that eyelid skin is almost impossible to draw a straight line on because it's so delicate and like crepey and everything. So I really like just actually stamping my eyeliner on. I think I'm gonna do a get ready with me video soon so you guys can see that method in action. But yeah, this is a great budget-friendly eyeliner. And then I like this one also the most. This one's by Glossier. It's a little bit more spendy, but it works so well. And it is a flexible tip, so you can draw the line on, and then it's great for drawing the wing and getting like a really fine point. And eyeliner is just really, really fun. The other thing I've loved, well, I'll just say that this brand is one of my favorites. You guys know I've loved Glossier since they came out. Their packaging is always on point. Ugh, so pretty. But I did want to shout out also this perfume by them. The name of the perfume is You. And that's because you are the ingredient. It really mixes with your chemistry and it just smells so good. Sometimes people ask me for just a good general perfume recommendation, and I usually go with this because I feel like it's kind of universal. Like, it's clean, it has a little bit of a powdery, maybe in the grandma category of scent, but I just think it's like really feminine and soft and lovely and delicate. And I always come back to this, and the packaging. I love that brand in general. Okay. Here's a perfume favorite of all time, Shalimar. I love this perfume so much. I just fell madly head over heels, deeply enraptured in love with this perfume this year. It smells so good. So good. This is the only perfume that I've ever smelled and just had an immediate like total body reaction of like, woo, it's amazing. Okay, that said, I don't know if it's like a good recommendation because I don't think it's to most modern women's taste today. So definitely seek out a sniffer of this if you can before you commit. I had to mention that because this was the year that I fell in love with this perfume. And I treasure it so deeply. Okay, another thing, I just love everything by, this is another brand shout out, I guess. I love everything by Guerlain. This lipstick, I think I shared this in a favorites years ago, but this is still my favorite lipstick packaging you can get. It is in this gorgeous case. You buy the lipsticks to refill. This one is number 214, but it's a really pretty red lipstick. And then you can get the cases separately. They're interchangeable, and when you open it, the mirror pops open. And I love things that are like beautifully designed like that. It has a touch of the elegance of yesteryear to it, and I think everything that this brand makes is so lovely and elegant. Also, everything they make smells good. So like when you're putting your lipstick on, it's wafting up, and it's a moment. It's so special. So I love anything from them. Okay, the other beauty thing that I really fell in love with this year that I wasn't expecting is beauty gadgets. And I never went in too deep for those before. I had like the Clarisonic face brush when that was like all the thing, all the rage. But I don't know, I think I'm always a little hesitant of like, is it gonna be gimmicky or is it gonna be really useful? And I fell so hard for these products. They are so useful, and I honestly don't think I would want to imagine my daily life without them. So the first one I'll talk about is the PMD Device. This has really soft little bristles on it. So you can lather it up and use it to scrub your face. But my absolute favorite thing is the other side is this little piece of rose quartz, and it heats up and you can use it to apply your serums or your oils, and it's just such a moment. It's just so relaxing, and this vibrates, so it helps to penetrate the product into your skin, and it warms up. Like I said, it's just amazing. I love washing my face and using that with my serums. They also have a body version, which is really cool. You have the same type of brush, a little bit stronger bristles to use on your body. I like to use it on like the bumps I get on the backs of my arms. It's really helpful. And then it has interchangeable little heads you can put on the other side. So this one is massage. And I get really bad headaches if I have tension in my shoulders. I haven't been able to go get a professional massage in so long. So this has been a lifesaver that I can massage my own shoulders and like get those knots out. So that's amazing. It also comes with like a loofah. What do you call those things? Like a shower sponge and with a pumice stone for your feet. And yeah, I just love keeping this in my shower as well. And then this is another fun one I wanted to show you guys. This one gets hot and cold, and it's amazing how fast it gets hot or cold. And it can feel so soothing just to put something ice cold on your face. Like this little plate comes to the temperature that you select, and on a hot day or after a good cry or whatever you need, it's just really soothing. And I never really thought about incorporating temperature into my skincare routine that much until this year, and it has taken things to the next level. It's amazing. And then last but certainly not least for the gadgets, I think this has been my absolute favorite. It's by 4O, and this is their UFO device. And this thing is so cool. Like, this is such 21st century beauty. But you get the masks that come with it, although I have a suspicion you can maybe use any mask with it if you don't want to be saddled with buying their specific masks. And then it communicates with an app on your phone. So you click on your phone, like I'm doing this mask now. You put it on here. It's just like a little piece of a sheet mask basically. And then it uses massage pulsations, LED lighting, it heats up. And the app like talks you through it as you're massaging your face with this face mask, and it is a transcendental experience. It's so relaxing, and like it just feels like such a special ritual. And the app kind of guides you, like take some deep breaths and like actually have a meditative moment. It's incredible. And it just feels so good on your skin. And then at the end of the treatment, it gently like winds down. It's just perfect. Like I feel like I just float onto like a little skincare cloud every time I use this thing. Love it. This is, you know, the simplest model, I think, and you can go as crazy as you want with it, but this thing alone is just, this is incredible. This is my favorite way to start and end my day now. It feels so good. Another beauty favorite, I really fell in love with the Caviar hair line this year. I have to pause and give credit to my friend Annette. She's an esthetician, and so many of these were things that she introduced me to, and she's a genius. But she doesn't have a YouTube channel, so I'm here to spread the word. This is another one where I'd like to just shout out this whole brand. This is Besame Cosmetics, and I just really love the whole line. It's vintage inspired. It's like recreating makeup of yesteryear. But aside from the cool vintage aspect, I also just love the formula. I think this is probably my favorite formula of lipstick because it's not too drying, but it's not too shiny. Like it stays on really well. This is my favorite shade, Red Hot Red. That's what I'm wearing. And it's a replica of Marilyn Monroe's favorite shade from the 50s. So that's just so fun to wear Marilyn's lipstick. But everything from this brand is amazing. They started skincare this year too, and it is an investment, but it is beautiful. The products are amazing. I love everything about them. They have a boutique here in Burbank, and it's so cool to go in the store. I love the founder. I love everything about that line. I think this last beauty item I wanted to mention was static nails. This has become the year of the home manicure, and I went from getting acrylics on my fingers nonstop all the time for the last like what, 5 years, to doing my own manicures at home. And I was really scared of losing the length and the fun colors and just everything I love about having my nails done, and I didn't have to lose it thanks to these press-ons. I think they are far and away better than like drugstore press-on nails. They are more of an investment, but I think it's $14 for a set, and I've easily gotten a full 2 weeks of wear out of them if you're good to them. And you can even reuse them if you really keep them in good shape. And it is the fastest, easiest way to have an amazing nail makeover. You don't even have to wait for nail polish to dry. It's like instant gratification. Okay, few things. I loved journaling this year. I always loved journaling. I used to have like a really complex Miracle morning routine. It has like 6 steps. But I have to say the one step that I always come back to out of those like more complex morning routines is just journaling. I love to hear my thoughts in the morning. I just get simple spiral notebooks. This one is from the brand Typo. I like spirals so you can open all the way and you can write comfortably. And yeah, I just like to hear what I'm thinking first thing in the morning. Sometimes you don't even know what you're thinking until you see what you say. So I love to journal for that reason. And then I also have talked about this before. This is a 5-year journal. And it's just so cool because it has a spot for every day. And it's just so cool because it has a spot for every day for 5 years. So as you fill it out, you can look back and see what you did on this day in history. And I've been really consistent with it. So in a couple of days, I will have 2 full years of my life in here. And it's so interesting to see what I did this time last year. Especially this year, it's been interesting since we've been in quarantine and everything. It's like, oh, this time last year I was at Disneyland or a baseball game or on an airplane or whatever. But yeah, you just never know what the future holds, and it's so interesting to look back. Like there's a lot of memories of our dog Lolita that we lost this year, and I love remembering, you know, having her with us the first year that I did this journal. So yeah, start something like this in January and then stick with it, and it's so satisfying. Another thing I want to share, because I always talk about my love for vintage beauty books, I think this is the end all be all. Anita Colby's beauty book from, I believe it's from 1952. This thing is a treasure. I absolutely love it, but it's so hard to track down. It's so hard to get your hands on, so I always feel guilty saying a favorite that you can't just like click the link. But if you are interested in these things, just letting you know, that is my favorite I've ever read. It's an absolute treasure. And if you did want one that's a little more accessible, this one has been reprinted. And this is the Westmore beauty book, also from the 50s. And the Westmores were like the original makeup men of Hollywood. They did all the hair and the makeup on the old stars. And it's so cool to read their old techniques. It's actually very technical. It really breaks down some of the old-fashioned ideas about beauty. But the fun thing that I love about this one is it has a 6-page beauty quiz in the beginning, so you can kind of like see how you stack up to the likes of Marilyn Monroe or Rita Hayworth or whoever were stars of the era. And I just love quizzes, you know, like in a magazine at a slumber party, and you just go through the room and answer the quiz together. So fun. Another thing I want to share was my kitchen renovation in general. I shared a video of that. We did some like apartment friendly things, changing the floors and the countertops and the appliances. And that has been the biggest boost to my joy. Every time I walk in my kitchen, just seeing that it reflects my own aesthetic instead of like the apartment aesthetic has been so nice. So if you're in my situation where it's not possible to own a house at the moment, we live in LA where you kind of have to be a millionaire to own a house. So we are renters, and I just love that I took the time this year to make even a rental situation feel more special, because we tend to have this mindset of like, oh, it's not worth doing it the way I want it because it's temporary. But honestly, even if you're only going to be somewhere for a day, you might as well make it special and reflect what you love and have it make you happy. So my kitchen definitely makes me happy now. Also, these pink pots and pans make me so happy. I got a set of pink pots and pans this year, and oh my gosh, how did I live without them? I have had a cobbled together set of like thrift store pots and pans that were all scratched up, or things, you know, that I like inherited that were all banged up and just really bad shape. And I always thought that was something I didn't mind being like more frugal about, but I didn't realize how much more of a joy it is to cook when you love what you're cooking on. It's more of a joy to clean when you love the kitchen that you're cleaning. So taking the time to make changes like that really helps. Also, I just have loved these pots and pans. Like this non-stick is next level. I can make an egg in here without any cooking spray and it just slides right out like an infomercial. Like it's mind-blowing. So I'm shouting out my pots and pans. And then the last two things are not physical things that I can show you. This note card says Zoom, which is so funny because I honestly kind of hate Zoom. Like, I find it really awkward to look at myself in a conversation with other people. And you know, Zoom, there's just like awkward silences and it's hard to like read the room like you would in a real conversation. So all of that said, the fact that I really don't like Zoom, I would like to say it's been my favorite this year because I just think I would have gone stir crazy if I couldn't see like my girlfriends' faces or my family's faces. I've seen my siblings who are scattered all around the States more this year than my whole life. There's 6 of us and we've gotten together on Zoom way more this year than ever. So it's just been really special, even though Zoom is like a flawed 21st century technology that is kind of awkward to use. I just really treasure that it has been able to bring me together with people when we were all so far apart this year. And my friends and I got really creative with new ways to hang out and like use Zoom or FaceTime or what have you. So I just wanted to shout that out. I know it's probably a universal experience that we all had this year. So I know Zoom is really awkward, but I did enjoy having it. I was very grateful for it and for all of modern technology this year. And I guess the true note there is that my favorite thing was just friends and dear, dear friendships and feeling such depths of thankfulness for connecting with other people and with all of you guys and with my family and everything else. And I always feel bad mentioning something that I can't just like link to it, like I said, but I can actually kind of link to friends because we have the Milk and Honey Patreon group where we have a little Facebook group and we do movie nights together and Zoom calls and just discussions, and that has really helped me so much this year. Well, obviously it helps because it supports my channel, so thank you to those girls so much, but also it has helped my mental health to have that group of girlfriends, so I had to mention that as well. Oh, I also have, this is another favorite of life that I discovered this year, which is the Madonna Inn, beautiful hotel in the Central Coast of California. It's a magical place that you must go if you get a chance. But I also started collecting these goblets that they're famous for, and I love having this collection of really beautiful glassware. It makes me feel so fancy. I can pick it to match my outfit like this one. So you can shop online if you're not able to go to Madonna Inn in person, but also in general, I guess I'm just saying to take the inspiration to elevate your drinkware. I always say you don't have to drink alcohol to use a beautiful glass. You can drink, this is just water. You can drink water, sparkling water, LaCroix, soda, iced coffee, whatever you want. I just think it's so much more special when you put it in a special glass or on a special plate or what have you. So that's another favorite. And I'm sure I forgot things. This is actually gonna be a 2-part video. So next I will be sharing my empties for the end of the year and we'll probably touch on some more favorites there. So be sure to hit subscribe, follow for that one. But I had to get this off my chest. Like these are some things that I just love this year, and they brought me some measure of comfort and joy and sort of like a constant that I could come back to despite all of the changing craziness, chaos in our world. So I just want to share those with you because if there's one thing, you guys know, if there's one thing I wish for you, it's always that you could have a little bit of self-care in your life, give yourself a little extra love, and if having an amazing perfume or a fun skincare gadget is what does that for you, like it does for me, then I am all on board. You have my full support, and I hope I inspired you just to be a little bit sweeter to yourself. It's so hard. We tend to go around taking care of everyone else, especially in these chaotic times, but I'm always here to say you need to take care of yourself too, please. So that is it for now. I will see you in my next video, and I love you guys, and Happy New Year. Bye.